You ready? Sure. Hello, everyone. Today I am joined by my brother Kyle. The whole point of this video is going to be to guess his type before he gets officially typed to see how close I get. And obviously, this is someone that I grew up with, so I'd like to think that I know him pretty well, but you never know. Just to introduce this, in Myers-Briggs, what is your personality type?
I am INTP.
Okay.
By the way, I introduced her to personality type.
Yes, you
I
did.
introduced you to Myers-Briggs. So,
Yes, you did.
mhm.
And now I'm all hating on Myers-Briggs because 16 is just way too broad. You are an INTP in
Mhm,
Myers-Briggs.
mhm,
I am an INFP in
mhm,
Myers-Briggs. And our mom is an INFJ and our dad is an ENTP. So
mhm.
that just to set the stage of our household. I no longer really believe in or align with Myers-Briggs. I am fully on team objective personality. I am a double feminine, SETE, play, blast, sleep, consume, social type number 1. And today we're going to try to guess what you are.
Okay. Can you go over the process? I guess for someone like me who doesn't know, how does one get the typing done? What is the whole process like?
Okay, so you would submit a typing video answering some questions, and a lot of people get really hung up on the actual answers. But the whole point is to get you to be rambling about things so that it's evident what you care about or like how your brain processes things. So, for example, like a SE person might describe something completely different than an NE person, even though they're talking about the same thing.
Mhm.
So that's sort of the basis of how you would observe someone answering those questions. And I think you're a little bit familiar now with the whole like savior, demon, feminine, masculine. It's quite the deep dive,
Mhm.
but on drunk nights, try to hammer it into
Lectured
your head.
lectured me about
Yeah.
it.
Okay, but this video is not about that.
What is the process you're going to be doing right now to type? Are you just going to base it off of our relationship or
I want to ask you some questions. I
okay,
also want people to comment
okay.
with what they think you are.
I guess that they can analyze what I'm
Hmm.
how I face
Yes.
certain things.
And then I want to throw my best guess out, but I also want you to get officially typed. It just in my journey,
Hmm.
I ended up being, I'm a common type, but within that type, I'm a weird type. I am an ESFP jumper, so I jump functions.
Okay.
And even though I am an EP and I should be a social type number 2, I ended up being a social type number 1, which is why I seem a little bit more DI than DE. Anyway,
There's a lot of
okay,
letters right
so I think that you might be similar
there. Okay.
in that you are not a straight flush type.
Okay.
And those are the people that I think are a little bit more complicated
Hmm.
to type, more difficult to type,
Got
but
it.
also a little bit more interesting to type.
Does that mean that it took a longer time for them to type you?
Not
Or,
necessarily, no.
sorry, this is a question for us people who don't know anything about ops.
Hmm.
Is there a body of people who actually type you? You know, like MBTI, where you actually have someone that's
Like a practitioner?
certified, right? Someone who's
Yeah.
certified who actually gives you the test, a full test, not the 16personalities.com test, but the full test.
So there's no like official like Scantron test,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more like watching hours of footage of you
Mm-hmm.
and then deducing what your functions are. The creators of Ops are Shan and Dave,
Okay.
and they now have a team of people. So it's not just them, typing away. There's a team of people
Mm-hmm.
now that do it, but there's also unofficial groups and study groups that also do it. So the idea is that they should all land on the same type.
Got it.
And even though it's crazy, like we're at 512 types, but now the social types came out, which is 4. So how many is that?
512 times 4?
Is it times 4? So if all 512 could be a social type 1, 2, 3, or 4,
Be
is
two,
that times 4?
yeah, it'd be 2004,
Oh,
2048.
okay, so there's 2048 types. So out of the 2048, everyone should land on the same type, which sounds impossible, right? But it's not. Like once you start seeing all the functions in play
Okay.
and the repetition of the patterns, it becomes really easy to see. So it's not about looking at the entire spectrum and then landing on, oh, he
Yeah,
must be
yeah,
this
yeah.
type. It's more like these functions are sticking out, so
Got it.
let's eliminate the rest. And
Mhm.
then you just keep eliminating, and you get to the
And I'm sure it's almost like a binary tree in some sense, right? Where it like this leads to either this or this. Once you get to that, that leads to a different conclusion instead of it being like, a scatter plot type of thing where everything's just randomly like,
Yeah. And I think what's cool is that everybody has a different way of concluding the type.
okay.
Depending on, of course, what you are and what functions you use,
Hmm.
you're going to have a totally different way of typing someone. I think my thought processes are not as linear and logical identical as yours,
Mhm.
but the idea is we should all be coming to the same type, no matter what process we use. Really cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this so exciting?
Yes, so
It's like,
I think it's more exciting for you, but yeah.
yeah. Okay, these are not necessarily the actual questions that you would be asked in the typing service,
Okay.
but these were just things that I thought might be interesting for you to answer.
Are they similar to the questions that you were asked to, or is that from when you were?
Kind of. When I got typed, I didn't go through the official process,
Mhm.
but it was a much longer list of questions. I
Okay.
noticed recently that they shortened it. Maybe they just got more efficient in their process, which,
They probably have tons of people ask
yeah,
them,
yeah.
and you have to go through a lot of people's. And
Yes. Are you ready for the first question?
yes,
Okay. In your opinion, what are the greatest voids that you're leaving in your life?
void doesn't VOIDS
Yes,
voids.
voids,
What are the biggest voids
voids.
I have to say anything to do with myself is a
Mhm.
huge void.
What are you not doing that you're kind of forcing everybody else to pick up after you because you're not doing it?
It's myself, like taking care of myself, but thinking of myself. I tend to think of others first before I even not even just think of others first, think of other things first. And then if I have time at the end, I'll maybe do some one little tiny thing for myself. But I never really, yeah,
You don't prioritize yourself?
I don't prioritize myself at all.
Okay, okay. So that's interesting because we're already seeing a little bit of the DE versus DI coin, which is tribe above self or self above tribe. Do you think that you put the tribe above yourself?
It's definitely for sure, but I honestly feel like it's not even like a choice that I make, but something that's like you said, it's a void.
Okay.
Hmm.
What is your greatest fear? We're gonna leave it vague.
That I already know this too. It's that I'm actually crazy. Yeah, that I'm, I think that I'm being coherent, but really in the real world, other people are seeing me as incoherent.
But is it the fear that other people are seeing you as incoherent, or is it the fear of the truth that you could actually be crazy?
That my own reality, the how I see the world is not the way it actually is. Sorry, going back to MBTI world,
Mhm.
I'm an INTP where I create a lot of structures in my head.
Mhm.
And if those structures are completely false because I think I'm basing it off of something that I observe, but that observation is completely wrong,
Mhm.
then yeah, I think that's my biggest fear is that I'm just stupid.
Your biggest fear is that you're stupid. That's interesting. Interesting. I'm picking up heavy TI vibes here.
That I know.
Okay, okay, interesting. So in objective personality, every function has a modality, which means it's a feminine or masculine function.
Okay.
And feminine function is very like go with the flow, very movable, but a masculine function is quite aggressive
Okay.
and pushy
Okay.
because it's in a masculine state.
Okay.
Okay. Where do you think aggression comes out for you?
Aggression comes
When
up.
do you get aggressive?
When I guess injustice. In the
Okay.
past, I would call it my biggest pet peeve in the
Hmm.
past
Hmm.
were people who are hypocrites.
Oh, you used to use that word a lot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really hated
Yeah.
hypocritical thinking, hypocritical. I don't want to say people because I don't. In the past, I would say people, but now I understand it more as people don't have the appropriate information to be making their choices or they're saying the right things. So I
Hmm.
don't want to call it hypocrites, but just I guess injustice because also like information that's not shared with someone is also injustice.
Oh, interesting. Missing information is a very key word in objective personality. I know you don't know that, right? But like for me, I'm like,
By the way, we haven't even done anything.
no,
Like we haven't even talked about this.
no.
She created
Missing
these questions.
information, huh?
Yeah, missing information, I think. No, it's not just missing information, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
the injustice of keeping things from people, whether it be time, resources, information, to make the appropriate decision that they should. So for instance, I feel for people who are in, like in poverty-stricken neighborhoods or countries where they don't have the appropriate education to really set themselves up to, become better and better or to become more wealthy, to
But
become
like, do
more.
you feel for them or does aggression come out? In what situation would you say you get aggressive? Because I've seen you,
Mhm,
right, growing up.
mhm,
You're pretty quiet.
mhm,
You keep to yourself.
mhm.
But once in a while, yeah, you snap.
I snap.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So what are those situations?
Is when that injustice occurs, I would say. I tend to be a lot more okay with going with, what other people are saying, trying to match, the people in the room, um, just to keep the peace is what I do. But when, for instance, that gets undermined and I get blamed for something, or someone else gets blamed for something that really was not in their own control,
You'll stand up for them? Like, are you trying to protect them or are you trying to pay justice to the person that's oppressing?
probably both.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So because like there were times where almost went to the dark side where I would actually try to get revenge
okay,
on their behalf.
okay.
I would say I would have those feelings for myself, but I didn't know how to express them when I was young.
Mm-hmm,
So I would kind of keep it in myself to a
mm-hmm,
point where I would just blow up at
mm-hmm,
one point.
mm-hmm.
So I think it's just these injustices where I just couldn't let it go because it was something that I just felt like it wasn't right. And I would just hold on to that little by little until the point where I just had to kind of release it all.
What we could be talking about right now is either your demon functions, like when you're triggered, it's coming out,
Yeah.
or it could also be your masculine functions, just being assertive and aggressive. Just as an example, right? When do you think that I get aggressive?
Um, when do you get aggressive?
Do you consider me an aggressive person?
It's either you are aggressive or you're not aggressive. Like
Okay.
I feel like you're mostly not aggressive. You're
Uh-huh.
just kind of like very like low baseline.
Low baseline.
Or like when you say something that
Yeah.
like triggers you,
Yeah.
you get so passionate about it or you get so angry about it to the point where I'm just like, whoa, okay, I need to like step back here, you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
Yeah.
My FI is demon and masculine. So I think it's those situations where if someone touches my values that I don't agree with,
hmm hmm
yeah, I'm usually a very passive person, but
hmm
yeah, I do get aggressive.
It's hard to calm me down
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah, yeah.
I think there's a difference though between me and you with that where like when I get to that point where I'm just aggressive,
Hmm.
I don't know, I almost like step out of my own body after that energy comes out
Hmm.
and then I feel guilty. So there was this time where I actually went out with a bunch of people.
It's a story time.
It's story time.
Okay.
It's story time. Went to the bar. This
Hmm.
guy starts talking about all these things about real estate, and we come from a real estate family.
Oh, we
And
good?
we do
Yeah,
come
we
from
did.
real estate.
Okay.
Well, we come from a family where we do a lot of business here.
Yes.
And that person started talking about business in a way where I knew that what he was saying was just so, it was just a show off, and he didn't even know what he was talking
You
about.
didn't like that he was bragging?
He was bragging, yeah,
Okay.
and he was just monopolizing the whole conversation. I was too drunk,
Hmm.
and I tore him apart, like with my words, of course,
With your
with
words.
my words.
Uh-huh.
And I remember, like after I did that, I just left. I left the bar and I hung my head, thinking, "What in the world did you do, Kyle? Like, why did you even like? Why you're aggressive?" So I think a lot of times I do these things where just this aggression comes out, and all of a sudden but it diffuses it really quickly,
Hmm.
and I
Hmm.
then put a lot of blame on myself.
Next question. What motivates you and where does your drive come from?
I can tell you what doesn't motivate me. And what
Okay.
doesn't motivate me, number one, is myself. For some reason, when it's something to do for myself, there's absolutely zero
Hmm.
motivation for that. Like, let's say I'm not doing anything for the whole weekend. You should take a shower every day.
Yes.
But for me, I'm just like, if it's not for, like, let's say, going out to dinner because we have to go meet someone or
Mhm.
whatever, and I'm just in by myself for the whole weekend, it's just like, why even take a shower, right?
I mean, I'm with you on that. I hate showering.
Yeah, I'm giving you like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a small example of other
Yes.
things. It's one of the things
Okay, so can I repackage that and say, unless you're doing it for
someone
someone
else.
else, you
Yeah,
won't do it.
I won't do it. I don't know. For some reason, I don't even.
It's not a priority.
It's not a priority at all.
What motivates you is
In a
other
need,
people.
other people's needs, and I see that I can fill that.
Okay, okay. So here we see signs of social type 2 and social type 4.
Am I that
And
readable?
and still we're hovering still in DE territory,
Okay.
extroverted
Yeah,
decider.
it is, but okay.
If you could conjure up your dream life or your dream lifestyle,
Uh-huh.
what does it look like? Where you're ultimately like, oh yeah, like this is the shit. Like I'm happy. This is what I want to be doing, how I want to be living. Your dream life.
My dream life.
Yes.
I think it would be living like somewhere near the woods by myself. in a house with a big garden, with like almost very little people around, living off the land and not having any other, like not having many obligations to society or whatnot. I think that would be my biggest, I would be really happy with that.
Are there things that you would like to acquire along the way, or certain like pets or vehicles or
I want to gain skills.
okay, what does that mean?
Like, like know how to build a house or to be able to make enough food for my own self. You know me, like I like to learn how to do things and then do a deep dive in those things.
Would you occasionally host people, start some kind of a commune?
Like start a cult.
Yeah,
Do I want to start a cult?
we don't judge. If you
No.
want to start a cult, you can.
I can start a cult if I want to.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to like, like I think the problem is like I think too much about other people to the
Mm-hmm.
point where I think I find peace where when there's no one around me, I
Mm-hmm.
feel at most peace and I can do things. When people are around me or things message like my when I have my phone and people are texting me, I can't do any I end up just doing things for them
Mm-hmm.
instead of doing things for myself. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think my ideal space would be being in a place where there's no one else. Being the eldest.
You're just only eldest of me.
No, but being the older brother,
Mm-hmm.
the eldest, it's a little bit different in the sense that, like I was the one that, kind of like was the first child in our family to have to go to the different schools that we went to, right? And I'm not sure if you told them about our past, but we were also immigrants to technic kind of immigrants to
Are
Hawaii.
you referring to our viewers as them?
Well, yeah, because
Yeah,
they're going to
yeah.
be watching, right? So,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
so our parents are immigrants
Yes.
to this country. Um, I'm not sure if you remember, but a lot of times when dad would be gone on his business trips, I would be the one talking on the phone for mom,
Mm-hmm.
in English and translating everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or that one time that she got into a huge, like that fight
Mm-hmm.
with the neighbor, and we had to like, figure out how to diffuse that.
Yeah, little micro traumas of our
Exactly. A
childhood.
lot of micro traumas.
Yes.
But I think that's the immigrant lifestyle, right? This
Mhm.
figuring things out and trying to make do with what, we're
So
given.
you think that when you were growing up, you were constantly trying to be a good boy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think, no, we were forced to be
I
good
agree with that.
children. We
I
were
agree with
forced to because the thing is, if we didn't, it wouldn't work.
that.
Nothing
Yeah,
would work.
yeah. This could go in many different dark, deep tangents,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll jump to the next question.
We'll stay in the light side.
Yes.
Wait, so
So
did I answer that
I
question?
think so.
What was the
The
question?
question was, what is your dream life and your dream lifestyle?
I think the thing is that I just don't want that responsibility anymore
Okay,
for other
okay.
people. And I'm not saying that I want to like shut people out anymore.
Hmm.
It's just
You want the
I'm
freedom to be yourself and be by yourself and
yeah,
yeah.
without the distractions of the pressures of other people.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Is there anything else, like while you're gaining the skills, is there anything else that you'd want to be achieving or working towards? Do you see a lot of pets? Is there anything else besides just that specific lifestyle?
So this is weird, right? So actually what I was thinking about, so I took a shower before this. It's for Candace, so I gotta take a shower.
Thank you.
Is it okay if I have to take if I say Candace in this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure like what I'm
Would you
allowed to
like me to
share.
call you something
No,
else?
Kyle's fine.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
wondering if you're known as like something else on
No,
this.
no, no, no.
But because I knew I was coming on this and I had to look,
Mhm.
so I took a shower before this. But in the shower, guess what I was thinking
What
about?
are you thinking about?
About helping other people.
Why?
And I was thinking, is there a way to do a nonprofit organization or nonprofit company where you would purchase a big commercial building, right? And that commercial building would technically somehow be able to attribute its nonprofitness to businesses to be able to provide services and food for other people at a very minimum price just to operate, technically to operate. And it would be under that NPO kind of coverage, just so that we can try to decrease costs of certain things in Hawaii, is what I was thinking about
So
how to create that.
utilizing a nonprofit to subsidize for-profit services
Yeah,
for
yeah.
people in need
In people in general, I would
in
say.
general.
Yeah, I know that people would take advantage of that and try to do what they would do, but the thing is, it's so hard to live here in Hawaii, as I think anyone has a hard time living here in Hawaii because it's so expensive.
So expensive.
And so the question is how do we lower costs?
So you are driven to help people.
Injustice.
Okay. We're seeing a lot of FE here.
So what I want to do, I think like, go in the forest, make all these different things. Let's say bring vegetables to the market and give it away for free. It'd be so cool to do a farmer's market and just like bring my vegetables, sell it for really cheap so I can just finish in an hour. And everyone who buys it gets free herbs that I grow in the garden as well too.
Why would you give it away for free?
Because I don't know. I think people want, people need sustenance and food and you're just making it,
I'm just giving you a hard time. I think we're so TE versus FE that
yeah.
my gut reaction is like, you're giving away product for free.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I know, I know. That means, what if he can, like survive? You have your job, but you also be able to guard on the side, and you can give sustenance away for free, because people need it, and it helps them. And you're also making, also making it for myself too. So
yeah.
I'm enjoying the vegetables.
Mhm.
I'm enjoying the, the herbs,
Uh-huh.
but you can share that with other people.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, I got you. If you could meet and talk to anyone alive or dead, who would it be? And we're gonna leave it vague. So it could be because you want to learn something from them, because you miss them and you want to talk to them again, because you want to hear all their stories and adventures, or you admire. It could be like for absolutely any reason, alive or dead, who would you want to sit down and talk to? Enjoy, a glass of wine and a dinner and hang out.
See, this is hard because, unlike other people, I don't get starstruckness.
Hmm.
That's the reason why I don't really care to go to concerts. That's the reason why I don't care to go to meet and greets of celebrities. I really don't like to follow celebrities on Instagram
What,
and
what about
on
like
social media
what about
either.
like thought leaders,
Thought leaders are cool, like like if you think
historical figures, like
philosophers and stuff like that. But the thing is, like, they're not. They're people,
hmm
and they're great because history has made them great, not because we don't know if they were actually that great back then. They're just regular people
hmm
that were trying to do what they do.
hmm
History and how people use their thought is what made them into these masters,
hmm
you know?
hmm Nobody's good enough?
It's not that they're not good enough. It's just I don't know. I don't know. I no one pops in my head. No one pops in my head. Do I have to answer this? Is there someone that I have to have? To be a person, actual person for it to for this
Okay, it could, what about it's a fake person?
a fake person. So can I
Yeah.
say like a category of this person who's
Sure,
like
why
this?
not? Why not?
I don't know. This is like the worst question.
Really?
It is. It
Oh, it's
is.
so
I
interesting.
don't know, Candace. Like
Huh.
I don't know because the problem is I don't.
Did I stump you with the question?
You did because
Well,
I respect people, but I I don't know if I want to meet them. Most of the time, it's more like I would rather not meet them because it'll change my perception of them. And they might be cool, they might not be cool. What they did is completely separate of who they are.
okay. Interesting. That's fine. There was a question that stumped me in the ops questionnaire.
What
I'm
was that?
gonna ask you that question
Oh,
now.
okay, 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 okay,
Okay?
okay,
Because
okay.
it stumped the hell
Okay,
out of
okay.
me. Okay. What is your 5 to 10 year plan in life? Who the
So this is the pro I think we need to explain this to your viewers
what?
why this always stumps us.
What? Why?
Because our family has never had a 5 to 10 year kind of like a plan.
Why are you shoving it on the family all of a sudden? Can it be yours? What is your
We haven't taken the response. We didn't, as we grew up, we didn't
Mhm,
really, like take that responsibility on ourselves to hone or to gain that skill.
mhm.
But at the same time, it's like our family didn't really help us to really become like that either. If
Okay.
anything, it's up at a negative to the point where, like we've had to always react
Mhm,
to what we're given,
mhm,
right? Also, like this is our family history, but we've moved every 3 to 5 years of our lives. So
mhm,
there was no like that's the I mean, the stability was there in the sense that we did see certain friends, but we changed schools quite often, and we and again, it's not because we were military families to that point. It's just because our dad was a go-getter, and we just had to follow him because we were children, and so. What we had to do was react to his decisions. Even now, we have to react to his decisions. And that's the reason why for us it's so hard to build a 5 to 10 year plan because we've never had that stability.
Okay, this is a very interesting answer I'm hearing.
You haven't said anything. Do you not agree with me?
It's not that I don't agree with you. I thought it was really interesting that you immediately jumped to that,
Mm.
like our family history
Oh,
and that creating the inability to
mm.
do so.
But what I'm saying though is that
Hmm.
I think that's the reason why that maybe it's hard for us to do that. Not saying that I don't have a 5 to 10 year plan.
Okay, so why don't we remove the family part?
Okay, okay.
What is your,
My 5 to 10 year plan.
yeah, yeah,
My 5 year plan, my 10 year plan.
yeah, or like maybe the question was even, what does your life look like in 5 years or in 10 years?
I think in 5 years would be the I would be in a place where I have a little bit more freedom to be doing the things that I want and being in the places that I need to be. I think I've kind of accepted the point where I think I need to be available to be there for our parents, being the eldest son and having to take care of them. And unfortunately, they're very high maintenance people, so someone needs to be there for them. So I'm okay with that, but I think in 5 years I'll find that balance. I'll be at a better place at a balance where I have that part of me where I actually doing the things that I want to do. I hope they're not watching this, but I think in 10 years, I think one or both of them might not be here by
Hmm.
then.
Hmm.
So in that sense, I think that one of them would probably be moving in with me.
Hmm.
I'll be taking care of them, taking them to wherever I'm whether it be in the forest in the woods, maybe they'll be the one sitting at the farmer's market giving away
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
herbs for me or something
At
like
home
that.
making some cheese.
Yeah, making cheese or butter
Hmm.
or you know, um, drawing seawater to make salt.
Hmm.
That kind of stuff. I think, in 10 years I'll be at a place where I have a better sense of myself and I've created a life separate to what I'm doing for
Okay.
the family right now.
Okay.
And I think the same thing with you. I think, our roughest part of our journey is creating that sense of self for ourselves has been the hardest part when you come from a family that really relies on you.
Hmm. Okay. Again, I'm seeing a lot of DE-ness.
What that is, DE
Um,
is.
so tribe over self versus self above tribe.
Okay, so D means what?
Decider. So you're either an extroverted decider,
Oh, okay, okay,
like
okay, okay.
tribe above self,
Okay,
or an introverted decider, which is self above tribe.
okay.
Yeah. And I think my husband, oh wait, should I bleep out his name? My partner in life, yeah,
Is?
is very self above tribe.
Okay.
So I'm just bringing that up because he's a good example of what DI is.
Yeah.
So if he's like an example of that,
Mhm.
then you can imagine the other side, right? Where you're the polar
That's me. I'm the
opposite.
complete polar opposite. Like
Yeah.
it's hard for me to make decisions for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. 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 So it's interesting because I'm seeing that you're a DE.
Yeah. Complete D, what.
What kinds of people are you drawn to?
I think it's just anyone that's themselves. I hate fake people. I really, really hate fake people. And I can spot them a mile away
Hmm.
that they're just fake, and I just end up becoming a bitch. I guess that's what I become. I just stop interacting with them because they're just fake.
How do you define fake?
People who are just not themselves. I don't know how to explain that. It's just it's innate for me to kind of tune out people who are just saying things for the sake of saying things to make them look better. I think that's the reason why like I don't really get along with Dad is because most of what he says is about really superficial stuff that doesn't really point
You sure
to
you want to add that here?
it's fine.
Okay.
But I mean I'm admitting it. I'm
Yeah,
admitting
yeah,
it to
yeah.
the point where I'm just like, like I don't care about his successes or what happened, I'd rather care about the reasons why
Hmm.
he did it,
Hmm.
how it helps other people or how it helps him, like I just hate people who say these things and then their actual motivation behind it is not, I guess, hypocrites, right? I guess it's a hypocrite. I don't like hypocrites.
Well, you don't like
I
hypocrites.
really don't like
You really.
hypocrites.
Okay, so the next question is kind of similar, so we can probably skip it. It was, what kinds of people or situations get on your nerves?
Oh, hypocrites.
Hypocrites. Okay. Okay. What would you say you're exceptionally good at? Where you just know that you're good at it?
I'm good at picking up things.
Like,
it could be a situation, or it could even be a skill. I don't know. I don't know how to explain this. I think I have like this focus of being able to focus on something this is a problem. It has to interest me.
Mhm.
So if I find that thing that interests me, I'm able to pick up that skill or learn that like this. I think that's the only reason why I did so well in school, you know,
Do you think that you pick up skills or do you think you pick up concepts and
concepts. Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But concepts is what, helps you to that base that foundation, right? To be able to create a skill.
Last question. What topics could you talk about forever?
People. I have a really good friend. Her name is Christy,
Mhm.
and we can talk for like hours and hours and hours and hours. And she's kind of similar in the sense that we talk about people and just pe not just people, like as like you're gossiping about people, but people and how people react or how people act.
Okay. Would you say like human behavior or specific people, but dissecting their actions?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. But not in the sense where you're trying to put them down in a sense, but trying to understand why people operate in that kind of way. And I can
Okay.
talk about that. Like for instance, like we can talk about I can talk about these things. It's because it's talking about human nature.
Mm-mm-mm. All right, so those are all the questions that I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
So after hearing all of those answers,
Mhm,
please comment down below what you think he is, or at the very least, what coins you're seeing,
mhm,
what functions you're seeing, what modalities you're seeing,
mhm.
what social type you're seeing.
Also, please like, dislike, subscribe to her
Oh
YouTube.
my God.
She tries really hard, and this is she tries hard, and this is her, this is her way to express herself. So if you like what she's doing, please subscribe.
So I think that what I'm seeing,
Mm,
a TI user, 1,000%.
mm,
I'm picking up a whole lot of FE.
mm,
So
mm.
I'm seeing a lot of TI.
Okay.
I want to say that it's a masculine function because you do get a little bit pushy and aggressive about like the way things should be done,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
I can be harsh on people sometimes.
Yeah.
I might comment on something, and
Yeah.
I have to watch myself
But
sometimes.
I can't tell if it's in a demon state or a savior state.
Oh, I
So
see.
right now
I
I'm
see.
kind of leaning towards demon state.
Okay.
And
So the demon just means what? Versus demon savior, it means.
so your savior states are your two functions that you're just always doing unconsciously. Your demon states are where you get triggered, you get a little bit weird. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of what I think is feminine FE,
Okay.
wanting to do things for other people and make the world and the community a better place, like doing things for other people.
Hmm.
So I am also DE savior, extroverted decider, but mine is TE. I'm a savior TE,
Okay.
but I
Extrovert.
think that you are a savior FE
Okay.
because we're both people pleasers, but in different ways.
For different reasons.
Yes. So I'm also seeing a lot of NE,
Hmm.
which is what I think dad is really strong on. NI is introverted intuition, right? And
Okay.
that's what the function is that helps you to conclude and see one pathway forward and to ignore the rest and to really control
Introverted intuition. Okay.
intuition.
Okay.
And a good example of NI is, again, my husband. He's able to control because he's able to conclude and eliminate other factors,
Okay.
right? Versus NE is like all of the factors
Yeah.
and the concepts,
Yeah.
right? So whereas he sees one conceptual way forward,
Yeah.
NE is just lots of ideas and concepts,
Yeah.
right? As the flip side, if you have NE, then you must have SI,
Introverted
sensing.
sensing. Okay.
Mhm.
What can you explain that a little bit more?
It gets lumped together with a lot of like being able to organize the sensory world.
Okay.
So someone with high SI would be able to do like paperwork, organization, taxes, like that type of stuff.
I mean, I can do it, but I don't want to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
I don't see SE in you.
What is that?
Extroverted sensing. That's my savior top function. I'm SETE are my
Okay.
functions.
But okay.
Yeah. So SE are going to be the people who like really thrive at the external things. So someone with like masculine SE
Uh-huh.
might be really good at like outdoorsy stuff, skateboarding,
Okay. Okay.
just anything like physical,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? But because I'm feminine SE, I'm more I think I'm good at things like aesthetics or
Oh, okay.
like
Okay.
things like that, but it's still
Making
out in
something look
the
pretty.
yeah, yeah. But instead of like shoving on to the external SE, I tend to be like moved and affected by it
Okay.
rather than me pushing back.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sort of. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just too many letters, and I don't
Okay,
know.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I
It's fine.
understand.
It's fine. It's fine.
I understand.
It's fine.
So those are the four functions that I'm seeing a lot of,
Yeah.
and like I'm willing to bet that you have them. I can't tell right now what order,
Uh-huh.
whether you jump
Oh,
functions
yeah.
or which ones are masculine and feminine.
Okay.
But that's kind of what I'm seeing
Okay.
for your animals.
This is the blast, sleep, whatever that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So I think you're very high in consume and play, and then I think you're missing blast.
Really?
That's what I think. So mine is play, blast, sleep, and I'm missing consume.
Can you be missing two?
No.
You can only be missing one.
Yes.
Missing just means it's the
Yes.
weakest
But
stuff.
it's where you're gonna leave the most deficiencies in your life, and it's gonna come back as a tidal wave
Okay.
because you're ignoring it so much.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
And for me, it's the blast part.
But I'm not 100% on this. I also didn't like do the actual math, so I could be wrong.
No, it's fine.
Last is really the ability to just get going, get started, do things and teach. And I think that's the part that trips me up because I know you're a good teacher.
Um,
Yeah, you're a good trainer, you're a good teacher. But
I was a teacher in the past before this,
yes,
so this is just for your
yeah.
audience.
But just to like give you an idea,
Yeah.
someone with blast before consume
Uh-huh.
is like as soon as they learn about something or pick something up, they're gonna go ahead and start making courses and
God.
classes.
Oh God, I hate
I know.
hypocrites.
No, they're the people that get ahead in life
I
because
know.
they're not so
They
hindered.
they fake it till they make it.
They're not hindered by the need to consume more and more and more before
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah,
ready.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Even before they're ready, they just go out and do it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And they learn along the
yeah, yeah,
way. I think you're the opposite of that, right? You tend to like over research
yeah,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not really ready to start,
Yeah.
right?
I
Yeah.
make it and I never make it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think you're high in play because you're able to do this.
Oh,
Like,
okay, 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 okay.
like back and forth and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think even as a teacher, I tended to be more of a mentor than a
Mm-hmm.
teacher.
Mm-hmm. And not to bring up my husband as an example again, but he's he's a prime example of someone who's missing play. But can you see that? Can you see that?
I guess so.
Yeah.
The conversation, being able to yeah, play with other
Like
ideas and places people.
right, it's the ability to toss the ball back and forth, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, and he's missing that. And then as far as your social type, I'm willing to bet that you're a 2 or a 4. So social type 1, which is what I am,
Okay.
right? Is like you're motivated by achievement
Hmm.
and pressure on self. So even though I am DE, right? Because I'm a savior TE and I move at the whim of other people,
Uh-huh.
deep down inside, I'm a social type 1. So I want to achieve and succeed and to put pressure on myself to
Okay.
do it. Social type 2s have friends in the I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared with like all
Have
the
friends?
oh my God, I'm not prepared with all the definitions.
It's
But
fine. It's fine.
friends is high in their stack. I think it's like their second. They're a lot more achievement oriented when it's with other people and like for a common cause and you're all working together. Threes are more so specialists.
Okay.
So they want to be tucked in their accounting corner doing only what they're doing. They're also demon friends. So they're like the super serious types that like they specialize in one field. They're damn good at it, but they're not driven by like, friends.
I think I could have been that if it wasn't for our situation. I like to go in my corner and go into my own world and research.
I do see that too, but I think that intrinsically you're really motivated by jumping in and helping people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. Yeah,
I see that. I see what you're saying,
yeah,
but I think that unconsciously you just jump and go when people need you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like I kind of wish our parents pushed me to become a doctor. You know, instead of because our parents are more like entrepreneurs, so we didn't really go towards that stereotypical Asian type where we had to be lawyers or doctors. But I think I would have been a good doctor if they had instilled that in me. I think the problem was someone has to instill that idea in me for me to actually start doing it. If that seed was put in me early on, I actually would have been that
Number
corner
three?
number three.
Okay, social
Weirdly
number
enough.
three. Okay. All right. But the fact that you said if they had pointed me in that direction, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that's screaming too. But
Yeah.
there's still the case that you could be a number four. Number four is friends first and responsibility last. It's all community, 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 right? But you're not really like driven to do much, but
Okay.
you're very, very focused on like community and friends and relationships. There's a lot of fours that have made it and became really successful. I know you don't really like follow too many celebrities and things like that, but
Yeah.
for example, Post Malone is a number four. He is like
He's a singer, right?
he's yes,
The one with the tattoos and
yes.
stuff.
He's like insanely successful, right? But like
Yeah.
all day long, he's like at his concert, like I went to his concert, the whole time he's just saying, thank you so much, thank you so much. Like I fucking love you all. He's just constantly bowing and bowing and bowing. And it's just like,
It's a four.
yes, yes. But that doesn't mean he can't be successful because he's freaking successful. If you think of a celebrity who's like they get out of the car and they're really like snooty and like whatever, right? Like here,
Thank you,
get me my
Koteki.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Koteki.
That would be like a number one.
Okay.
Number four is someone like Post Malone. Like if a kid says, Posty, I love your shoes, he'll take them off of his feet, sign it, and give it to the kid. Like that's how selfless he is.
Okay.
Okay.
One to
It's
four.
not saying that ones can't have friends
Yeah.
or fours can't be successful,
I
right? It's
see.
just the way that your social needs are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying two or four for me.
That's what I think.
Is there more after four?
No.
So it's only one through four.
Yes. In conclusion,
Okay.
I'm seeing a lot of TI, I'm seeing a lot of FE, I'm seeing a lot of NE, and then SI. I think you are a consume, play, sleep, missing blast, and I think you are a social type 2 or 4.
I think it'd be interesting to see what what the next step is, which is be to get typed.
Yeah.
I think this would be an interesting process.
Okay, well, I'm glad you have interest in it because it's a very niche topic.
Well, I'm interested because it's gonna help you.
Why, thank you.
Yes, you're
Okay,
welcome.
that wraps up this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Yes.
Oh, we have to say this? Okay.
Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Koteki.
Thank you, Kateki.